Chess YouTube, what is happening in this video right here? Magnus Carlsen, the GOAT, the greatest player of all time. He's playing his wife. Yes, his actual real-life wife. And online, his wife goes by the username Ella Bella Bang Bang. You can't make this up. Ella Bella Bang Bang is his wife. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just relaying the info. Anyway, Magnus here in this game, he's playing without a queen. Those are the odds. It's Magnus here with all his pieces minus the queen versus black, who has the queen. All right, can Magnus defeat his wife, Ella Bella Bang Bang, with no queen in rapid chess? Let's find out. In the game, Magnus here, opening one, knight to c3. Black goes d5, then knight f3, then knight c6, and then d4. Magnus finally striking back in the center, except he's got no queen on d1 to support the pawn on d4. All right, black, e6 is the move. Then we have the bishop coming out to the f4 square, bishop b4, e3, knight to f6, bishop d3, and then both sides castle. We have castles and castles. So far, actually, a pretty normal looking game. Both sides playing actually almost identical moves, except black here has the queen and white does not. How the heck is Magnus going to fight back from this? I have no idea. All right, black. She takes on c3, Ella Bella Bang Bang, capturing on c3 and damaging the pawn structure of the goat. We have bishop takes, then b takes, and then knight to e4. Actually not a bad move by Ella Bella Bang Bang. Ella Bella Bang Bang threatening the pawn on the c3 square. Not a bad move at all. Now here, Magnus, the move is c4, trying to get rid of his weak pawn on the c-file. And from here, black, knight to b4, pressuring the bishop. Ella Bella Bang Bang actually playing a decent game of chess so far. She's playing like, a classical Queen's Gambit style pawn structure. Her pieces are on decent squares here. She's playing aggressively. Not bad at all. All right, Magnus. The move is c5, gaining space. Black takes on d3. White takes back, driving back the knight. Where is the knight going to go? It goes to the c3 square. Ella Bella Bang Bang jumping forward with the knight. Now, rook f to e1, rook to e8, a4, and then c6, black achieving the famous pawn triangle or pawn pyramid in the center of the board just like this. So Ella Bella Bang Bang, again, playing a very solid game. Now, the one problem with her game so far is this knight on c3. It's got literally nowhere to go. I mean, normally, this knight, it belongs on like f6 or d7, but it's way out on the edge of the board. What is it doing here? Ella Bella Bang Bang is about to lose her knight versus the goat. All right, Magnus, he sees this. Rook to a3 is the move, threatening the knight. And of course, the knight has almost nowhere to go. Almost. The only move to save the knight right here, right now, is the move queen to a5. And Ella Bella Bang Bang, she finds the queen move right here. All right, Magnus, h4 is the move, gaining space. And now Ella Bella Bang Bang, again, she's got to find a way to get this knight back into the game. So she does that with the move knight takes a5. Actually a risky move, as Magnus here, he can go rook e to a1, doubling up pressure against the knight, and that is what he does. Rook e to a1, again, piling up pressure on the knight of Ella Bella Bang Bang on the a file. And what is Ella Bella Bang Bang going to do in response? Well, she goes b5, trying to defend the knight, a logical idea. And here, white takes, black takes, and finally here, of course, if white takes on a4, black can actually take back with the queen, and black would simplify, and black would likely have enough material to win in the endgame, being up the extra rook plus the extra pawn. Therefore, here, Magnus, he does not take the knight. Instead, he goes for my favorite idea in all of chess, the alpha zero attack, literally h5. Here we go, threatening h6. This is the idea. All right, black here, b5. Ella Bella Bang Bang. She defends the knight on the a4 square, but Magnus, he continues. h6, threatening to capture on g7, or even worse, if black goes g6, as Ella Bella Bang Bang did in the game. The alpha 0 h pawn lives, it clamps down on g7, and that pawn may become a major force to be reckoned with later in the game. All right, from here, Magnus, knight to e5. He jumps up with that knight. The idea being potentially, well, first of all, you are threatening to capture on c6, but beyond that, you're also threatening knight g4 and then f6, synergizing with the alpha 0 h pawn to threaten the knight and the rook. And what is black, aka Ella Bella Bang Bang, going to do in response? Well, Ella Bella Bang Bang, she goes b4, driving back the rook. The rook has to go somewhere. But here, Magnus, he shows why he is truly the GOAT. He does not move the rook. He does not capture on a4. Instead, the move is knight to g4, dropping back and threatening knight to f6, forking the king and the rook. Now, black here. What is the right response? How should Ella Bella Bang Bang respond right here as black? Well, it turns out the strongest move here is f5, gaining space and trying to drive back this knight. Instead, Ella Bella Bang Bang, she captures on the a3 square. B takes a3 is the move, and now, of course, Magnus, he jumps in with the knight. Knight to f6, forking the king and the rook. But of course, all is not lost for Ella Bella Bang Bang yet in this game. From here, king to f8 is the move, defending a good move. But now Magnus, he's not done. He does not capture on d6 or on e8. Oh no, he does not. Instead, the move here is bishop to d6, forcing the king back to the g8 square, but it can't go there. In fact, the only move to defend is rook to e7 like this. And now Magnus, does he capture on e7? No, he does not. He captures on h7, and the alpha 0 h-pawn has suddenly become a pass pawn and potentially the most important piece in the entire position. All right, Ella Bella Bang Bang. She goes king to e8, retreating, but Magnus, knight to f6. This guy is relentless, targeting the king once again. Now here, the best move for black, believe it or not, is simply king to f8. Instead, Ella Bella Bang Bang, she goes king to d8, sliding over with the king. And now, Magnus, h7, the alpha 0 h-pawn. Not only does it live, it's about to become a born-again queen. Magnus, he started without the queen, and what do you know? The alpha 0 h-pawn becomes the queen in the end. All right, Ella Bella Bang Bang, rook to e8 is the move, trying to defend, but Magnus, he captures the rook and then promotes the alpha 0 h-pawn to the queen, h8, promoting to a queen. Now, don't get me wrong, Ella Bella Bang Bang is still in this game. According to Stockfish, she is still winning right now with a pretty sizable lead. However, of course, Magnus, being the GOAT, with the new queen, I mean, things are not looking good for his wife in this game. All right, black, king d7. She attacks the bishop on d6, but Magnus, bishop takes a3, winning the pawn on the a3 square. Now, Ella Bella Bang Bang, queen d8, offering the queen trade, but Magnus, he declines the queen trade. Queen to g7 is the move. Now, queen to e8, then queen to e5, threatening queen d6, which would be checkmate as the king literally cannot go anywhere. Her own pieces block the retreat. Now, king d8 is the move, then bishop c5, and then instead of d takes c5, the move, of course, is rook takes a8, and suddenly Magnus Carlsen threatening so many ideas here. Queen d6, queen to b8, rook takes, and so on. I mean, there are so many ideas here, and Ella Bella Bang Bang, she pokes the Norwegian bear. She plays the move knight takes d3, attacking the queen, but of course the knight is now so far away from the defense of the black king. And Magnus here, he simply finds a powerful way to finish off the game seemingly for good. Queen d6 attacks the king on d8. Black, queen d7 defends, but now queen to f8. The queen flies back to the back rank. The king goes to c7, and now queen to a3, threatening rook to a7, trying to skewer trying to skewer the king and the queen. In response, Ella Bella Bang Bang, king d8 is the move. Then we have rook to a7, attacking the queen. Bishop b7 blocks the attack, and then queen takes d3, winning the knight on the d3 square. And here, Magnus, he is completely winning versus his wife, Ella Bella Bang Bang. He has the rook versus the bishop, and that is just too much material. All right, black, king c8 is the move. Then queen to a3. The queen slides over and threatens a check on the f8 square. In response, queen to c7 is the move. Then we have queen to f8, hits the king, queen d8, then simply queen takes, king takes, and then rook takes b7. But Ella Bella Bang Bang, in this position, any rational person would resign right now, right here, but she is not resigning. Ella Bella Bang Bang is fighting on until the bitter end. King c8, rook takes, king d8, rook g7, king e8, f4. Magnus advancing his pawns on the king side. King to f8, rook takes, king f7, Ella Bella Bang Bang, fighting back, attacking the rook. This person is playing for a win. Magnus Carlsen's wife, she knows how to play a game of chess. All right, rook h6, king g7, rook takes e6, king to f7, Ella Bella Bang Bang. She's fighting on in a position where even no Indian chess player would fight on, and that is truly saying something, because those Indian players will fight on almost no matter what. But again, no Indian player would play on here, and that is truly, truly saying something. All right, Magnus, he takes on c6, rook takes, king to e7, f5, the pawns advance, and Magnus here, I mean, he has to keep going, keep going, keep going. Ella Bella Bang Bang is just not giving up in this game, but in the end, the pawn promotes to a queen, king d7, queen f7, king d8, and finally, in this position, the final move is simply rook to e8. Magnus delivering the checkmate versus his wife, Ella Bella Bang Bang, in this insane online blitz game where Magnus literally starts without a queen in the starting position. And by the way, this game, I forgot to mention, this game literally just took place, I believe, on June 11th, 2025, aka it just happened. Wow, what a game between Magnus Carlsen, the GOAT, and Ella Bella Bang Bang, his wife. I'm breaking character. This name, Ella Bella Bang Bang, is the funniest thing I've ever seen. All right, anyways, that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. You know you want to. Smash that like button to support Ella Bella Bang Bang in her chess career. And comment down below, what did you guys think of this game? Leave your comments, whatever it is. I'm all for it. And as always, I wish you the best of luck in your chess improvement journey in 2025 and beyond. And I'll see you in the next video.